Is Lyft Pink worth it in 2024? I did a video previously talking about Lyft Pink. However, there's been one big change. You can see right here for $10 a month, you get free priority pickup upgrades, relaxed cancellations, 5% off standard and XL rides, and a free year of Grubhub Plus. Now they do say and more. Here's kind of the quote unquote and more you get. I do have the extra one highlighted is you get 12 free bike or scooter unlocks per year. Now I'm gonna give you a short answer and then a long answer because I hate YouTubers that ramble on. Here's the big question, the almighty question you have to ask yourself. Do you spend more than $200 a month taking Lyfts? If the answer is yes, it is worth it. I don't stress, I have no affiliation with Lyft, just giving you the hard nitty gritty. If the answer is no, and you spend less than $200 a month taking Lyfts, it is not worth it. Yes, there is relaxed cancellations. The priority pickup is free. I'm not gonna lie, another one I would say that might be for you depending is the Grubhub Plus. You do have to spend, there's a bit of an asterisk on that, more than $12 for an order for the $0 delivery fee. But I feel like if you're ordering delivery, you're probably spending 99% of the time more than 12 bucks. So what was of that? For me, I never order delivery. So I feel like that's more of an optional thing, but I think for most people, bringing it back to the main question I asked you, it comes down to taking Lyfts. Now, what's unfortunate about this is back in the day, this is why I said in the beginning of this video, there's one big change. Back in the day, it was $20 a month, so it was more, but you got 15% off rides. When you did the math out, when I did that video previously, you had to spend more than $134 a month in order for Lyft to be worth it in terms of taking and signing up with Lyft Pink. Now it's cheaper, which at first you're like, hey, it's only $9.99 a month or $10 a month. But when you do the math out, because you only get 5% off per ride, you now have to spend $200 or more in order for Lyft Pink to be worth it. That is the big question. I'm not gonna lie, it is kind of unfortunate because before, I'm not gonna lie, $20 a month did seem a bit steep. But spending $134 a month or more on Lyfts, I feel like it lets you take Lyft a lot when going out to nightclubs or bars. If let's say you use Lyft to get around to go to and from work, that's actually kind of feasible, I'm not gonna lie, and not, I think, a bad deal. But to me, there's something about spending $200 or more when it comes to Lyfts that you're like, okay, that's a lot of money, right? If you do the math out, that comes out to be about 50 bucks a week. Now, for some people, you may be like, hey, $50 a week, let's say if you go out on a Friday and Saturday night, do you spend, I'm making this up, $25 each night? Maybe that is worth it, right? So keep that in mind that if you do the math out, $200 is kind of your break-even point. Anything under that, you're essentially losing money unless you do use Grubhub Plus or whatever. Anything above that, you're saving money. Another thing I do have to mention on this video, which I feel like might seem a bit obvious, but I do want to mention it, is remember, this does not coincide with Uber. I feel like with most people, and I know this might seem captain obvious, but I do want to say it, I feel like for most people, they say, okay, I'm going to go out, you're with friends, it's a Friday night, or let's say you're going to go to work or you're doing whatever. You pull up Uber, you pull up Lyft, you're like, which one's cheaper? I'm going to take the cheapest option. This is something to consider. Just want to be transparent that think about it. If let's say in your area, for whatever reason, Uber's typically cheaper. Well, yeah, maybe if you spend more than $200 in ride sharing, Lyft Pink might seem worth it at first. But if you only take Lyft sometimes, and then other times you take Uber, that is something to consider, right? To use like a gaming analogy, it kind of soft locks you into using Lyft. That, let's say if you pull up Uber and Lyft, let's say there's one night you're like, wow, Uber's way cheaper than Lyft, but I kind of have to take the Lyft because of Lyft Pink and I want to get the discount and I'm spending $10 a month for it, blah, 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 blah. You know, it might seem more worth it to just be like, all right, maybe Lyft Pink is not worth it at all. Again, it does depend upon your situation. I know some cities and some states and some areas, they say, look, Lyft is always better, way easier to get a ride. I know other places, it's the opposite. They say, no, Uber's cheaper, Uber's a lot easier to get a ride. But at the end of the day, I know they have a couple other features, like I showed you. You can get 3 relaxed cancellations a month. They kind of make it seem like you get more, but you get 3 relaxed cancellations a month. The scooters and bikes, I don't think I'd use, but that's an option for you. Like, you do use the scooters a lot, you get 12 unlocks a month. And then, of course, the Grubhub Plus membership. I think it's kind of cool, but I think for most people watching this video, and again, the priority pickup, you get it faster. I guess that's cool too. But I think for most people, they just want to know, Is this worth it? Is it going to save you money or not? Similar to like Amazon Prime. Of course, shipping costs a lot of money if you're buying stuff a lot of the times and you need it quick. Amazon Prime, depending upon the person, can or cannot be worth it. At the end of the day, ask yourself this question because it has changed. Back in the day, you need to spend $134 a month or more for it to be worth it. Now, the big question is this. Do you spend $200 a month or more taking lifts? The answer is no, it's not worth it. If the answer is yes, I'd say it probably is worth it.